Hey everybody, I just wanted to say hi. I'm so excited about this live stream. It has been a fun week. I've been on tour with Behold the Lamb of God, the yearly Christmas tour that I do, so I haven't been able to tune into the live streams because we've just been busy on the road. But we had a day off today, and I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for all the support you've shown us. The other night was so fun. The premiere was so fun. I can't tell you what a cool feeling it was to know while I was standing on stage singing about the gospel that this show was going live for the very first time. And it wouldn't be happening without you guys. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoy episode 2 when it comes out. See ya.
Hey everybody, Chris Wall here, executive producer of the animated series, and of course Andrew, who's not able to be here live. Good to hear from him. I haven't seen him in a little bit. We don't get to talk a lot often now that he's on tour. But I'm glad to be with you today. We have a really exciting live stream in between episodes. Of course, last week, episode 1 finally released in the world, and it was a huge moment for us and our team. A lot of work over many years to push to get that done. And we've just had a really fun week celebrating with you guys, and are so thankful for all the response and all the really just great encouragement, whether it was by email, text, or reviews you've posted on social media. It's been an amazing week. We, of course, invited you all to share watch party stuff. We had a lot of you getting together to watch as a group, which is what we're most excited about. I think Andrew and I have talked about, we want families to get to sit together and just enjoy this story. And you did. And whether it was gathered around a computer like this or snuggled up on the family couch with a big TV, all of it is just so precious to us. Our own team, of course, had gathered as well. And got to we have quite a few of us here in the Nashville area, and those that were available came and joined us with the Sea Dragon in the room, and got to watch the show again with all of you, and it was just the best, really encouraging. And here we are. In between weeks. So each week in between, we're going to have a live stream where we get to talk about the prior episode and tell you some cool stuff that we didn't get to tell you before we showed it to you. So we'll do more of that later. We have a special guest today, Romy Fay, who plays Leeli, will be joining us. And then at the end, we have a special sneak peek new trailer that has some really cool stuff from episode 2, and that'll have right at the end. So don't go anywhere on that. It's going to be a lot of fun this afternoon. All right, so it has been a crazy week. People have been asking, how's it going? Are you excited about it? And I couldn't be more excited. You guys have really responded well. Like I said, the reviews have been amazing. We have over 100,000 views on the episode itself since it went live, which is huge for us. Our expectation in this has been to put the episode out there and to find a lot of you Wingfeather fans that will come and support it and be a part of it in these first few episodes. And then as we get near the end of December, we're going to do a lot more on marketing to grow. We'll have a couple episodes that people can kind of sink into and really fall in love with the story. But we'll need your help. I mean, honestly, we're community supported, and we need your help to amplify our voice. And so we're going to have some specific instructions at the end of our time together on how you can do that. But bottom line is, tell people that you saw the show. Even right now, if you're thinking about it, you're like, oh man, so-and-so, they would love this Wingfeather Saga show. Go tell them about it. And one of the easiest things you can do is send them to angel.com/WFS. Normally, you just go watch the show at angel.com/Wingfeather, but WFS will tell people where they can find it for how they want to watch it. So some people are going to want to watch it on mobile. Some people want to watch it on a television. Some people want to watch it on a computer. We can do all of those things. Right. And so it'll kind of give them a detail on where to find it. Some people are going to watch on Facebook or watch it on YouTube because that's just the platform they like to be on. That's great. It's a little better quality on the other platforms, and it's always free on all of it. That's part of being community supported, is that we get to do this for free for everybody, which is really cool. And it's been an amazing week, and we're so excited that you have join us in. Some of you have asked about in the counter, it says it has over 1 million, and I think it's now to 3 million. We're counting views across a lot of platforms for Back at the Short Film, as well as what's happened in some of our live streams and this sort of thing to get that total number. But for the episode, we're excited about where we're beginning. And that's really an astonishing amount of growth in a week. So well done. Also, this show is available all over the world. I think some people are like, think about just the United States. It's literally available all over the world. I have a really cool dashboard that we as a team get to look at to see where we're being watched. Brazil is tuning in. It's our second biggest audience out of the United States, and it's great. People have asked about translations. Yeah, we know. We're working on it. It'll be some of the first things we do is help getting the show translated in other languages to be enjoyed around the world. So yeah, we will not be translating it for Idaho. I think you guys are good. But hello, Idaho. And Indiana, just up the road from us here in Nashville, Tennessee. If you're just tuning in and don't know what you just stumbled upon, hi, welcome to the Wingfeather Saga animated series. It's based on a 4-book series. These ones are right here, which are awesome. A lot of people are just finding these for the first time over the past couple of years. It's a book series that our family loved, and we have gotten to be a part of, help bringing it to life in this new animated series form. And so season 1, which we're into, is going to cover all the story of book 1 in the Wingfeather Saga, and we're going to keep unfolding through all 4 books with your support. So we're community supported. I'll tell you more about that later. But now let's just dive in, shall we? All right. Today, I am so excited. We have a very special guest, Romy Fay, who plays Leeli, is going to join us, and we're going to hear a lot about her experience, I'm sure. So would you please welcome, if you don't know, hold on before I jump into this, if you don't know Romy, she is Leeli, who last week in episode 1 sang with the Sea Dragons. So let's start. I want to show you this clip of her singing with the Sea Dragons, and then we'll introduce Romy. Oh man, I love that scene. Well, without any further ado, I am so glad to introduce you. Let's meet Romy Fay. Hey, Romy.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So,
I feel like it's been
Romy,
forever, but it's not that.
you are working hard on a Broadway show right now. Is that right?
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for taking some time out to come hang out with us for a little bit. And man, what has it been like? You've had the episode 1 is out in the world. What's the response been like for you?
It's been like crazy. A lot of my friends are saying, "Wow, it's so good." Like we've been talking about it a lot. Like, when's the next episode coming out? It's really positive. Everybody's like so excited for the next episode. My family loves it. I love it. It's really good.
Were you nervous when it went out, like if people would like it or not?
Not really, because I kind of started reading the books.
Uh-huh.
So I wasn't that like scared that people weren't gonna like it because I read the books and like this is a really interesting story and I recorded the episodes in the booth with you. So I already like knew what was happening. So by the way I like saw the script and read the books, I knew people were gonna like it, especially my friends.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I agree. I was nervous. I'll just be honest. I mean, last week when it went out, we got to spend time together, you and I, during the red carpet, and meet for the first time in person, and then get to watch it together. And so that was really exciting. But then putting it out to the wide world, I was nervous. I just wasn't sure. Like, I love our story. I think it's great. I agree. But I was like, boy, I wonder. And yeah, it's been amazing. People have been so generous, and like they really like what we've made here, and they really like Leeli a lot. Now, you had to come through the challenge of auditioning and callbacks. Do you remember any of that? And tell everybody how that was for you.
Well, the audition was really fun because, well, when I audition, I feel like it's more fun than the callback and actually, for some weird reason, even getting the job. Because the callback, you get to explore all different characters. Sometimes you get more characters than just one character that you actually are in the show. But for this specific I don't know how to speak. That's tongue tied.
It is a little.
So for this particular audition and this like particular show, it was more fun to audition. I just feel personally for any show actually, because you get to explore the character, you get the breakdown, you get the scene, you get to try something new, you get to do as many takes in different ways, and you get to explore your own version, you get to create a little bit of the character, you get to explore the character for the first time. So I just feel like that first experience to see the character, to meet the character is just amazing.
When did you start reading the books? Like, obviously, when we came to you to audition, did you start reading the books before that, or did you wait till after you were cast? Like, when did that fall in?
Well, I had no idea this was a thing before I got this audition. I didn't know it was a book series. I didn't know they were making it into a TV. You guys were making it into a TV show. I was like, this is cool. And my mom said there's a book series, and maybe you could look into the book. So we got the entire series, all 4 books. I started reading the first book, and I said, this is interesting, you know. So then when I got the call back, like, I'm like, oh, wow. So I knew even more about the character.
You got to have a little more information than just a script. Because I think sometimes when you audition, you have just the script, and it's like kind of have an idea of the character. But then in this case, you could go read this big set of books and go, oh, I see who she is.
Yeah, so that was really helpful, like a bonus thing.
Were you nervous about trying to be Leeli? Once you learned you were cast, were you nervous at all? Because obviously a lot of fans, a lot of people know this character, and it's not like they don't know it. It's like it's a character they know, and here's your version of it. Were you nervous at all about that?
Well, for the first episode, this was like the biggest voiceover thing I'd done. So
Mm-hmm.
I was a little bit nervous for the first episode to do it, but then the second I stepped into the booth, I'm like, I got this. No
Yeah.
need to
Now,
worry.
you told me before that you actually, in your family, have older brothers. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. I have 2 older brothers.
So you
The
know a
youngest.
lot about being the younger sister. Yeah. So there's that. You kind of get to bring that to
Yeah.
it. Okay. So beside Leeli in the story, now that you've gotten to kind of be a part of it and see it all, who's a favorite character for you?
Probably Tink.
Yeah.
I just enjoy Tink's passion of being
Mm-hmm.
like out there, fun, enthusiastic. He follows the rules.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
just. I feel like I can relate to that. I follow the rules, not all of them, because sometimes I feel like I want to make my own decisions. But I just enjoy Tink's spirit of being like awesome and fun. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Griffin, who plays Tink, will love to hear that from you. So thank you. All right. Without spoiling anything, what are you most excited about what's upcoming the rest of the season?
Without spoiling anything. The adventures they go on, the things they discover, the just how they like what they go through, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't know what this season. I haven't even finished the first book. So
Oh, okay, good. We have some surprises. Yeah.
so it's a long book. There's like 56 chapters or something.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
But for the second season, they're gonna discover more things, and then the third season, then more things, and then the fourth season, like more things. And
Oh, it just
but this
keeps
first
happening.
season, they discovered a big chunk of a lot of things.
Yep. Yep.
That's all I can
can't
say
wait
without
to see that.
spoiling anything.
Good job. So I remember, Romy, I asked at one point, this is funny. I said, hey, can Romy sing? Because we have this wonderful song and we weren't sure if you could sing. And of course you came back, yes, I can sing. I would love to sing. And you got to sing this amazing song with the Sea Dragons. Tell us about that experience.
Well, that was fun. What I did is whenever I want to learn a new song, whenever I have the opportunity to try a new song, or whenever I feel like, oh, I want to learn this song, this seems fun, I go to my singing coach. My mom schedules a lesson, and I actually had one earlier today, right before this.
Okay.
But she helped me learn the song in like 3 lessons. So it's a short song, but when we learned it, it was really fun to like learn. And then when we recorded it, I felt really confident because I already spent 3 lessons learning it, maybe even 4th. So, and then I like sent her. My mom did a little voice recording when I was in the booth, and we sent it to her, and she's like, "Oh wow, that's amazing! She did great!" And she even watched the show, and she saw how it got put together. And I feel like recording the song was just fun, you know. I
So
got
was
to
that your
express
first time
myself, but it's
Yeah. Was that your first time to work with a music producer? So we had our producer, Ben Shive. He's directed a lot of people, helping them sing. Was that your first time to work with a producer?
with the music producer or a producer.
Music producer. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
This was
So tell me
actually the
about
first,
when he was
like,
talking through
show.
with you. Yeah, he was talking like how to perform
This
it and getting the emotions right and this sort of thing. That was kind of a fun experience for me watching and being.
Yeah, that was actually really fun to like see how like, because I never worked with him before with any music producer, because this is actually the first show I've ever done, Broadway, TV show, movie, commercial, where I actually got to sing in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was actually like really cool to like meet with a music producer and sing on a show. You know?
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like,
Well, he had a lot of fun, and he
like,
told us afterwards he was not sure about it going into the session, just kind of what you could do. And he was texting me while we were in the session I don't mean to spoil it for you. And he was like, oh my gosh, she is doing a great job. And what he loved about your performance is it was very professional, and you were hitting your notes. It's a difficult song, you know. It's kind of a weird, you know, it's not like you're singing some pop song. And he was like, wow, she's really doing this. And then, but what he loved is that you still had a kid, right? You were still like, Lily's just a little girl who's singing this song. So, you know, it's like what you do on Broadway. Like, you want to be able to still be a character, right? And I think one thing that people might not know is that when you're singing musical theater, or in this case, a character in a show, you don't want it to be polished like you're making a record or an album. You want it to feel like you're expressing kind of the feelings of the song. And that's something you really did well. That's probably something you're familiar from your musical theater, right?
Yeah. The only thing I actually sang in ever was that thing I was explaining to you earlier, the Frozen thing, before we started this. That was the first singing on stage thing I've actually ever done. So, just like, yeah, it's really...
It's a lot,
really
yeah.
cool.
Singing in a character is so different than just singing your favorite song. It's really, it's beautiful. And you did a wonderful job with this because you sang it as Leeli would sing it, you know, and made it feel like our sweet Leeli, which was awesome. Great job. I know that for a lot of people, there's been a lot of excitement about the episode, and then there's some questions. So we asked some of the folks to send in some questions. You want to look at those together?
Sure.
All right, let's see. Let's see what our first question is here. Oh, what's your favorite thing about Leeli?
Probably that... Oh, I was talking to my mom about this earlier. She, you know, like everybody knows, it's just a main thing about Leeli. She hurt her foot. She doesn't walk on 2 feet. She has a crutch. Mm-hmm. But what really inspires me is it doesn't slow her down. Mm-hmm. She might be the youngest and she might be hurt, but it doesn't slow her down. She's still going out there, pushing through the hard times, and she's still doing it. So that's probably my favorite thing about it.
Oh man, that's a great favorite thing. I agree with you. That's great. All right, let's see what our next question is. Why are there leaves in your hair, Romy, Leeli?
I don't know. Why are there leaves in my hair?
I don't know, because it looks pretty. No, it was actually our designer, Nicholas Cole, who did all the character designs, really wanted to express Leeli's kind of, like you were saying, her spirited, kind of, she's got her own ideas. She loves her dog. She loves playing with her brothers, and she's just very active, you know, very counterintuitive to someone who does have some challenges getting around with her crutch and her foot. But the leaves in her hair kind of made it feel like she's just a little more active and in the wild, you know, and she's not afraid to get out there. So we have had a lot of people asking, like, okay, how many episodes will she have the leaves? Is she ever gonna brush her hair? So we may think about maybe having them go away at some point. I don't know, because they're getting a little. Aww. You can imagine she wakes up in the morning and like puts the leaves in. It'd be kind of funny. Okay, let's see what our next question is. Oh, what's your favorite animal?
I like owls.
Owls?
I like owls a lot.
Yeah. Do you know we were camping one time
here,
and we had a park ranger that took us out and said, hey, we went out at night, and he had a special call, and he could make this call, and then the owls would come swooping overhead. Woo. And it was the coolest thing because they're almost completely silent. And you just see the shadow over the moon. Woo. They would go by. It was like, woo. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, owls are awesome.
My favorite thing about owls is their legs. If you ever hold an owl, or look at a picture of an owl, and you lift the feathers off their legs, they have like skinny, this thin legs, and they're like It's so cool, and it's just so cool. I love it.
That's awesome. I love it. We should find a way to get an owl into Wingfeather Saga. That'd be kind of fun. All right. So what other questions? They'd be named
Maybe like
weird.
a new creature, or maybe like Mr. the Sockman's pet.
Ooh, what if he had a pet? Ooh, that's a good idea. That's cool. All right. What's our next question? What do we got here? Oh, do you have a life motto?
I think so. I feel like what I always remind myself is keep going, push through. Things might be hard, especially when I do school. Math, for me, is difficult. I say to myself, push through it, just believe in yourself, try again. If you don't get the answer right, try again. You don't have to be right in everything, just try your best and be yourself.
Man, that's a great one. Yeah, I have a lot of that too, where I feel like I, as a life motto, have a stick to it, right? Kind of a grit. As you know, it took us 7 years to get Wingfeather Saga made into the anime. 7 years of working on this to make it, and it's been amazing. Last Friday was a big moment to finally go, oh, we made it. We have a series out there, and so that commitment to just keep going and just keep working. That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, we got another question here. What was the weirdest sound you had to make while recording?
Oh, probably, so, like, as you know, there's a lot of movement,
Yes.
and there's a lot of running and beating up the Fang in the first episode.
Yeah.
Probably the weirdest sound was probably like a grunt, or like, like, or stuff like that. That was a big challenge for me. I don't feel like, most of the time, I don't feel that, like, good about doing it, but this, like, I did it, and so that was, like, probably, yeah.
Yeah, those are tough. And so we call those efforts when we're doing recording, and all the actors have to do a bunch of efforts, and it's running and jumping and falling and all this stuff that you have to do. And then the sound editors go and make it, and it makes the character and everything feel so real. But when you're recording it, it is silly. Laughing. That was one of the things. Remember, I think when we auditioned, we said, hey, show us, let me hear you laugh, because acting like you're laughing is tough, to make it feel like it's believable, and those are, because they can sound fake.
For
like,
me, I laugh. I just laugh. I laugh at a non-funny joke. I laugh at people crying. I laugh when I'm crying. I laugh when I'm hurt. I just laugh.
Yeah.
I just laugh. I just like to laugh.
One of my favorite
for me, it wasn't that
sounds you made in episode 1. My favorite sound you made in episode 1 was the hey. You probably don't remember it, but it's in that fight scene with Slarb, and you're standing there, and he whips his tail and knocks you down, just kind of like a mean bully, and you say hey, kind of like, and it was my favorite because it's so Leeli. Yeah, like another character might be like, ow, hurt me. No, Leely's like, hey, that's not fair. She's so fierce, especially about her dog Nugget. Obviously, Nugget's pretty special to her. All right, what's another question?
He's so cute.
He is. Ooh, what's your favorite color?
I have like 5.
Well, your shirt says your sweater or shirt, I can't tell which, has a lot of colors, so I presume that you like a lot of colors.
I love colors. My favorite colors are yellow. I'm pointing yellow. Yeah, yellow, green, bluish. That's a blue, kind of.
Yep.
But blue. And then I also enjoy, I don't think it's on here, but purple.
Purple. Yep, purple's a beautiful
Oh, wait,
color.
it's right there.
No, there it is. Yep,
There.
it's hiding out. Yep, there it is. Got it.
There.
You're doing very good with
It's
the
hard to,
reverse
like,
image. Okay, one more question. Let's see what we got. What is your favorite thing about Nugget, your dog?
Nugget? Oh, okay. I like. He's just fun. He's cute. He has a cute bark. Like his little cute bark. So cute. And he's helpful. In the first episode, when we getting rid of the thwaps, like, he's like, ruff, ruff. Get him over here.
He's like a sheepdog. It's like we're watching Babe or something. He's out there herding the thwaps, and then we had some people who were not happy about the fact that Leeli clubbed that one thwap into the air. I thought it was fantastic. I was really proud of her for doing it. Yeah, it's coming up right here in this clip. So he chases, and then woo! Yeah, Nugget's a good sheepdog. Also, Nugget, man, helps you a lot. If people haven't noticed, or I don't even know if you noticed in the first episode, but there are a couple places where Nugget is very helpful to you. So at Books and Crannies, you were looking at the picture book, and when you're done, it's time to go because the horn's blared. You closed it, and there's a cute little bit of animation where Nugget goes and grabs your crutch for you and turns and hands it to you in his little mouth. It's like a little bitty thing that like, yeah. So there's lots of little bits where Nugget, if you just watch the whole episode, Nugget view, like what's all the things that Nugget's doing? It's pretty fun. I'm
gonna do that. I'm gonna rewatch it when I finish my school today. I'm gonna speed through my school. I'm gonna turn on the TV. I'm gonna go to YouTube because the Angel app won't download. And then I'm gonna go to YouTube. I'm gonna search up Leeli and the Dragon song, which I think is cool that my character is in the title.
Yeah, I know, it's huge. Okay, so it is December. It is nearing the holidays. We've got Christmas coming. I've got a tree right behind me here, our little office studio one, and we thought it'd be fun to think of some ideas for how people could get ready for and decorate and fun stuff Wingfeather style. Right? Ooh. So we have a couple of videos that you and I are going to watch here. Now, in full disclosure, we haven't seen these, so this is going to be a genuine reaction, but we're going to have a look at a couple things. First, let's talk about some Wingfeather ways that we might wrap presents like a featherhead. Featherhead are those people who are huge Wingfeather fans. We call them featherheads. All right, so you ready to watch this video? All right, here we go.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Oh, and the Jewel of the Mirror.
Oh, they're dropping the book.
Yeah, in
How did I do that? I'm not good at doing bows.
Oh, and attach the jewel.
Oh, they're adding the.
Oh, wait, more. There's more coming. That looks like a royal gift right there. Wow.
It does look like a royal gift.
So pretty. Wow. Okay, now we gotta go before.
Ow.
Okay, once again, wait for the book. I like it. Book 2.
Oh, it's like.
Okay, good. That's some good folding. That's some good wrapping. I like it. It's looking a bit like a nice parcel. Very nice. So tuck in embellishments. Oh, there we go.
Oh, they're adding little leaves to it because it's the Glipwood forest. Oh, that's cool.
What?
Really cool.
Beauty cow version. What is happening?
What? Beauty cow.
That's awesome.
The beginning. Beauty cow.
Oh, and there's cow fangs.
Cow fangs. Oh,
there's cow fangs.
Oh,
that's awesome. Oh, I love it.
That's funny.
Yes! Pizza Sockman version. Yeah.
Oh, they're putting it inside the sock.
Now the fourth book goes in. Stuff the top with some socks.
Stuff the top with socks.
Yep, I like it. Yep. I might have some striped socks that I could use.
You probably have to clean up some of your socks.
Yeah.
Like get some of your socks, you know?
That's exactly.
Cool.
Oh my gosh, those are fantastic. Great job. Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good. Those are super fun. I have inspiration now. I've got to do some
your
Christmas
favorite
shopping
one?
this weekend. I think, boy, I love wrapping and folding, so I think I like the Glipwood Forest one with a little sprig in there. What was your favorite?
I think I like the last one.
Yeah, the sock
I
one.
like Mr.
Mhm.
And actually,
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab something real quick. It's just over there, so I'm gonna grab something
Okay,
real
you
quick,
grab
and I'm
some.
gonna show you
Yep.
one thing I got that kind of reminded me of him.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that Pete the Sockman's pretty
Okay,
great.
I'm
That's a
back.
nice pig.
And I'm already back.
Oh,
Okay.
you
Oh,
weren't kidding.
yeah, it was just on the floor over there. Okay,
I see.
so I went to
What do
the
you have?
Bryant Park Winter Village for people. Some people don't know what this is, but the Bryant Park Winter Village is like a little village on the sidewalk street, and there's like an ice skating rink, and there's little stores and food, and one of them was a sock place. Now, they don't just sell socks, they sell things that are made out of socks. So this is a mitten. This is a mitten. It's made out of socks. This is literally
Oh my
sock
God.
material. Now you just add a little bit of softness inside, and then you
Oh,
put
wow.
your hand in. And now I'm wearing a sock.
That's
mittens.
super fun.
And so I got the mittens. My brother got, like, I can't say it out loud because he's just on the other side of the wall doing a school in the living room.
Yep.
He got a sock robe. It's like this material on the outside, and then it's like soft, fuzzy material. Okay, I don't think you
On
can
the
see.
inside? Oh my gosh,
On
that's
the
awesome.
inside. And it's like a robe. And then it's for his birthday, or his Hanukkah present. This is a hat. Soft on the inside, socks on the outside, and there's socks on top. So it kind of
Oh,
looks
there's
like a
socks
bunny
on
rabbit.
top. Jeez. Oh my gosh, that's adorable. Those are
And
awesome.
another thing, what I really love to do with this is I like to turn it inside out, and I can be a pilot. There's all different styles, and if you buy this, it comes with a little paper, and it's a little manual for the owner of the hat, and they teach you how to do all different things. And there's a YouTube channel, and now I'm a pilot.
Now you're a pilot. You got the ear warmers.
I'm a pilot.
Yeah. And there's socks for ear warmers. Oh, that's adorable. Wow. Okay,
Like
well,
you can
this
do
is
anything.
all.
You're like a Donald Trump thing. There's like
Yeah,
a
it
Donald
is.
Trump version. There's like a Robin Hood version. There's everything basically.
I love that you have the
Yeah.
socks. That is the coolest. Okay, well, as we think about Christmas, I will tell you, in Hanukkah and all the holidays, I get so excited about all the food. So, as you know, there are blueberry gooey balls, and we thought it'd be fun to show people a little how to make some blueberry gooey balls. You want to watch this? Okay.
Yeah, I want to make
Here we
some
go.
blueberry gooey balls.
All right. Okay. Salt in, onion,
This is baking powder.
everything. I got it. This is proper. I don't know how much.
Oh, I need
a.
Oh, it's a different
do
bowl.
wet
You have to
ingredients.
mix the wet,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yep.
wet
Let me get
ingredients, and then
I do a lot of pancakes at our house. That's kind of my thing. And yeah, get all the wet ingredients in there. Got to give them a good
I
whisk.
can make eggs. I can make sunny side up, scrambled, and eat. I say easy over as sunny side down. So that's how I make
Okay.
eggs. That's all I.
I want you to make me an easy over. I love over easy eggs. That's my favorite. Okay, got a bake.
I
got a
actually
pan.
like to make
There you go.
brownies with my. I like to make brownies with my grandma.
Yeah. Oh, we're
I
gonna
like to
press
do
the
it.
blueberries. Here we go.
Oh, that cool.
Ooh, it looks tasty right there. Yep.
Is it gonna be like blue food dye or something?
I don't know. Let's see what happens. I'm curious. Okay, so this in.
I'm so
And then we gotta
excited.
go bake it, I assume.
15
minutes of
minutes.
baking. Ba-boom!
15 minutes
Ooh.
later. Whoa,
Those
that
look
looks
tasty.
good. That looks really good.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Oh wow.
And then, I see. Then put some blueberry jam.
Blueberry
on top.
jam.
Yeah, that's tasty.
The icing on top.
Mm-hmm.
It's not icing jam.
I'm hungry.
Looks so good.
Oh my. That looks awesome. Nicely done. Yeah, we should make those. I think I'm going to work on that. That's a good idea. So
I'm gonna try and make those.
I told you we started. This is our office Christmas tree. It's not decorated yet. It's just up here with lights. So soon enough, we'll have it decorated. But we thought it'd be fun to show people, if they want to do a Christmas tree, how they might decorate it Wingfeather style. I'm not even sure what that means.
Cool.
Should we look at this?
Yeah.
Let's see what this is.
Yes, let's do it. I want to do this. I want to do this on my Christmas tree. I have a mini one. It's a little mini Christmas tree. I want to do it.
Oh, some blueberry.
They're
gooey
blueberry
ball.
gooey balls.
That's
Oh,
clever. Yep, I like it.
that's really
Getting some depth. Oh, the toothy cowbell.
Oh.
We have one of those.
yeah. Where do you even get those?
They have them on the Wingfeather store. We have one of them somewhere here.
I want to like order one like right now then.
Oh, those are nice.
Oh, it's the Glipwood Forest.
It's glip fruit. See,
Glipwood
it's
Forest.
sliced glip fruit. Yep. Whoa! Lily's
Look
flowers.
at these flowers. Those are my flowers.
There they are.
Cool.
That's a cool. I like that.
Oh yeah, because she has it in her hair.
You gotta throw some socks on the tree. Come on.
You gotta top it off with the socks.
That's
You
silly.
just gotta top it off.
I love it. That's silly.
I wonder what like the topper is.
Ooh. Oh, and you could use Nia's
Oh,
apron. Ah, that's clever.
What's
I
the
like
topper?
it. Yep. Yep.
Is there a topper for like the top of the tree?
I don't know. What could be the top? What could we put on the top? I don't know. Aw.
Oh, I know. I know.
What would you put on the top?
I know. So I'm Jewish. I don't really celebrate Christmas. So I wouldn't put a star. I would put, if it were Wingfeather theme, I would put like the Leely's like harp thingy thing.
The whistle harp?
Yeah, the whistle harp upside down, and it's just like on there.
Oh, that looks cool.
On top of the
Yeah,
tree.
because then it could be like an angel harp almost. Like, yeah, that's, it could do both things. That's awesome.
Yeah, like
I love it.
see like the bottom, there's a little hole in the bottom. There's a little hole in the bottom. You could just put it right on top. Really
Yeah.
cool.
Well, Romy, we're just about done with our time
Can I say
together.
a comment real quick?
What's that?
About the blueberry. Comment about the blueberry gooey
Oh, yes.
balls.
Yeah.
So those blueberry gooey balls, I'm not actually a big fan of blueberries. So when I saw how they were putting in the blueberries, you could do it with like chocolate instead if you don't like blueberries.
You're right. Yep. You could totally swap
But
out.
those
the
do
berries.
look really good.
Those look really tasty. I'm just saying. So, Romy, we're headed to episode 2. We're between weeks. Next Friday will be episode 2. And episode 2 has a lot of really fun stuff in it. We can tell people because we talked a little bit, but there's going to be a game of Zibsy played, and you get to be a part of that. So they're going to see you in that, and then some other things that are really fun. But anything that
My
you want to leave?
favorite thing I'm really excited for is the last episode of season 1. I don't want to say anything, so I don't want to spoil anything.
Oh my god!
But the last scene of the last episode is just, I'm so excited.
I know, I am too. Yeah, and it's going to be well. So we have episode 2 next Friday, and then episode 3 December 30th. And you and I have seen episode 3, and remember at the end of episode 3 is also like a crazy stuff happens at the end of that. And yeah, it's going to be super fun. But yeah, Romy, thank you for taking time with us today. It's really good to see you, and I hope you have a good show tonight. And
Thank
look
you.
forward to next Friday. We'll get to do another episode. So thank you again. Good to see you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. So good to have Romy, and can't wait for next week. A mysterious map to occur. Of course, that live stream for next week will be available here wherever you're watching it, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, or in the Angel Studios apps. Again, there's a really cool link. I said at the beginning, angel.com/WFS. There it is. Angel.com/WFS, that will tell you all the different ways that you can watch, whether, again, that's on mobile, on a laptop, or on a television. They have all the things covered. And it's free on each of those. So it's not like you go over there and have to pay or anything. The show's always free. And if you haven't watched, even if you only watched episode 1 once, you probably won't watch again, because now it's time for the executive producer feedback round. And so this is where I'm going to answer some of your questions. I'm going to tell you some things about episode 1 that we have not been able to tell you yet. And then after this, we'll have a little bit of Q&A. And then you don't want to miss, because we're going to talk a little bit about how you can help support our show and help us keep making these episodes. And then our exclusive clip for episode 2 and some other fun announcements. Okay, so let's talk about episode 1, shall we? I wish I had a coffee mug right now. This would be the time where I sit back and sip on my coffee and we talk about episode 1. We'll do more of this down the road, but we want to do it week after week and just immediately give you some feedback. One of the challenges, I'll just tell you right away, now that we can speak about it freely, is figuring out how to introduce the characters for the first time in the television show. Because, they've got to be, you want to meet them doing something, kind of, who are they? What kind of characters are they? And in your favorite television shows, how you introduce that character. What is we talk about this in screenwriting, the save the cat. Like, what is the thing the character does that you fall in love and go, oh, I like that one? Or the villain, they kick the cat. Like, what's the thing that you go, man, I don't like that guy? And so in our show, as you saw, we started with Janner, and he's our main character. Obviously, we had a little prelude of we thought we'd set the tone with having the black carriage running about, and then meet Janner. One of the things that I'm sure you saw right away is that we wanted to really play into the idea that he loves Pembroke's Cricipede. It's his favorite book, and that like his loving of it and reading of it is so high that in fact it's become a little overboard, as we heard from his sister. He memorized every part of it. But it's what gives him a bit of a superpower. So we're looking for ways, what are the things that he could have that he can do that's interesting, and he knows all the creatures. And so would know how to evade them, would know how to deal with them. That will come up later in the season. So meeting Jenner there. And then Tink, some of you guys may have fussed about the idea that he had a bow and arrow, because you're not allowed to have weapons. And yep, he knows that too, but has made his own little string and just takes a stick and bending it, so it's quite crude, and made his own little arrows. And what we wanted to do there is later in the story, not to spoil, but the bow and arrow comes into play for Tink. And if you're watching in television, his sudden ability to maybe behave with the bow and arrow pretty good, could be a bit unbelievable. And so we wanted to set up the idea that he had some practice, like started messing around. He's not great at it, because as you can see here, he's about to miss and then hit a toothy cow. So, a couple things could happen here, but that was the setup. I also want to say there's a lot of really interesting things in this first episode that you may have missed, and not draw too much attention to it, but when the chimney collapses, obviously Tink chucks a bit of the crutch and it hits one of the bricks and knocks it just a little bit loose, and then the entire chimney falls down. You might want to go back and freeze frame that, just see what else you see. That's all I'm going to say. The other thing I want to note, there it is. Here it goes, ready, boom, boom, boom. And then, these kids, they're terrible. I'm going to go get them anyways. And then, there it goes. And so if you go back there, I'm not going to do it here, but you might see something special. Also, just want to note, all those really cool dust effects that are 2D. There's an artist that we have that 2D animated all those cool dust effects. We just love that, handcrafted in there. If you remember when Slarb gets stopped not long after that scene, the two Fang guards are like, whoa, you can't chase those kids down because their mom makes great maggot loaf, and so leave her alone. That's the thing, which is an idea that's set up in the book. We are doing it differently in the series, how that gets set up, of course, but using the same idea. I think it's one of the things people talk about is we're staying very true to the spirit of the book and the characters and what they're about to go through, but we are changing kind of when exactly it happens and in what context it happens. But the bottom line is she makes maggot loaf. So when Slarb comes up here and gets stopped, and he debates whether he's going to chase the kids or not, there's a character that appears that it kind of lurking and steps away. Any ideas who that character is? hit us up in the comments if you think you know who it is. Some of you should know because we've talked about it a little bit, but there's a character there that peeks around. And this moment introducing her tells you a little bit about how we're going to use her in season 1, what kind of role she might have. And there's some really fun stuff we'll tell you about after episode 3. Yes, episode 3, we'll get to tell you a little bit more about her character and why we decided to use her in this way. Okay, so if you have questions, hit them in the comments, and I'm going to answer. But I'm going to offer you a couple more things to think about. Sarah Cobbler. For a lot of you that have read the books, know that Sarah Cobbler is at the beginning, referenced in the first book, that she was somebody that Jenner knew but had already been taken. And we decided to adjust that a little bit and show a relationship there, that she is someone that they get to interact with. And so, of course, on Dragon Day, whichever Dragon Day we want to say this is, they run into each other. There's Sarah. And Sarah, of course, for those of you who read the whole book series, becomes a very important character later. And so we wanted to spend time in our season getting to know her a little bit more so we can work off of that later in the series. So we're, of course, laying a lot of track here for the entire thing, which is 7 seasons long across our 4 books. And so Sarah is such a pivotal character. We wanted to get her in there early, and played by Ari. She just does a wonderful job bringing that character to life. You get to see some more of Sarah in episode 2. Not to spoil it, but that's going to happen too. Lastly, in case you didn't notice it, there's this really interesting bit behind Oscar's shop when Leeli comes up to talk to Armelin. And there are additional characters, not just Armelin, there's additional characters back there. What were those 3 talking about when Leeli came upon them? Any ideas? No spoilers. So be careful as we talk about this stuff. Those of you that read the books, be careful not to put things in the comments that might spoil anything on the series, but there's some fun stuff we planted there too. So lots of interesting things we're working on. And I'd like to know your questions. Any questions you guys have got out there I can answer. Love to do that. I know I've had questions about how old the characters are. This comes up a lot. Jenner is 12. Tink 11, and Leeli is 9, in case you're curious. So yeah, that's how old they are. Let's see, favorite hidden detail. My favorite hidden detail, I don't know if I have it. I do. Hey, Grace, could you hand me that mug over there? My favorite hidden detail is we have a friend who makes really cool coffee mugs, and he is part of our community called the Rabbit Room. It's a creative community that was actually responsible for publishing books 3 and 4, the Rabbit Room Publishing. And in the show, we actually have a mug at Shaggy's Tavern that features a little mark right here that happens to be his mark. And so in the show, we reference that. And then Eddie Afa went back and made the actual mug. So we have it. So my favorite hidden detail, I'll just tell you, is this right here, that there's this little mark from a real friend who's a potter who makes these cups. And then he went and copied our design from the show and made a real one and gave to us. Ah, so fun. So that's my favorite. Thanks, Kalmar, Wolf King. What other questions we got here? Was it hard adapting the show from the book? Yes. It is for a lot of reasons, because the world building that this is our beloved family copy. It's been well worn, missing its back cover. The world building that happens in a novel, taking this into 6 half-hour episodes, you have to kind of think about the arc. And so what you're going to find is episode 3 is our mid-season episode. It's an episode that kind of hooks and has to take you forward. And there's all these kind of structure things. And so you figure out, kind of back into it. Well, I want this to happen here so that then this will happen. And so I think it was challenging to keep the spirit of it and the family relationship, which we felt like we've really captured well, if we do say so ourselves, along with the sequencing of things. In the book, there's a little bit of what we call to and froing, where characters go to one thing and back and back. And it's just in television, it can be a little frustrating. So we kind of simplified and pulled some of that together as we adapted. But it's taken, our writing team has worked really, really hard to be faithful. We love the books, but also to find ways to make them fit within these half-hour episodes, and for people who haven't read the books to be able to find them accessible. So one of the things that we decided to do here, which I love in your comments, you tell me, we did not do a prologue. So if you know from like Lord of the Rings and others, oftentimes, especially in fantasy, they'll do a long prologue explaining the world and where we are and what's happened before we start the show. I really don't like that. I'd prefer to just be dropped into it and then kind of unfold and figure it out, which means it's a little confusing at first. And it's a little like, what's going on here and there? And then you start to figure it out. And that's the kind of story we wanted to tell. So that was one of the harder. Why wasn't the Black Carriage poem in the show like it was in the short film? Because we felt, Andrew did, and I agree, like it was a little too scary. We have a version of it, and we could change it in the future. Honestly, we have a version recorded with one of our actors with that poem overlaying exactly the scene that you see. But it felt a little maybe too scary. I don't know. We're kind of split on it, but the Black Carriage poem is really good and really creepy, and it's a bit of a ring around the posy kind of thing, right, happening. So that's why. Yeah, good question though. What are the questions? What was the hardest part to animate in episode 1? I will tell you, there's a scene that I was like, whew, I don't think the animation team's going to get it right. And it is when the family is leaving to go to Dragon Day for the first time. They go out front of the house and go climb into the wagon. It's just a bit of difficult blocking. You've got the 3 characters plus Nugget bopping along, and they all climb up in, and Tink goes over the sideboard, and actually just ahead of this, actually. Sorry, Ryan, you're doing a great job. We're kind of real time figuring this out. But Tink hops over the sideboard, and Leeli with her crutch has to get up, and Janner kind of gives her an arm up, and it's a complicated bit of stuff that our animation team just did it effortless, because you probably didn't notice how complicated that was, and I did, and I was like, wow, they pulled it off, and we just went through it and they behaved like characters who do that every day. I love that in a show when I'm watching it, and it's not like someone's miming it, where they're like, I'm gonna get this thing and pick it up and make a thing it. They just do it like it's instinctive, like it's every day. And we've got a number of parts in the show. There's a part I mentioned to you when I was talking to Romy, but this bit where Nugget effortlessly grabs her crutch and hands it to her as though he does that every day, and she picks it up and goes, oh, I love that stuff. Kind of geeks me out, but yeah. All right, what are the questions? Got a couple more we can do. Will the soundtrack be released? Yes, definitely. I'm sorry we couldn't have it available right away. I know sometimes with your shows you get to have the episode comes out and there's the soundtrack right away. We do not have it ready yet, but we will have a full soundtrack of both the beautiful score and all the cues you've heard in that, and of course some of these amazing songs. I know some of you have been asking quite a bit for that Arcadian Wild. You're just going to have to keep playing it from the episode for now. I love it too. They had told me, hey, I want to make a new version of this song. Can we do it? Because they'd done a very similar version of it back in 2017 with our short film. And I was like, yeah, sure. I mean, gosh, I love that old one. I can't imagine. And then they did the new one. I was like, oh, I can imagine. That's beautiful. So yeah, thank you. Be sure to listen to Arcadian Wild. We love those guys. Why did the drawing of Esben not make an appearance in episode 1? Oh, thank you for asking that, Diana Capaldo. Will it be in later episodes? Man, that is a great question. Okay, so the aspiration for Janner has to be worked out. There are some misleads, I'll be honest, and Andrew has said this himself, in this book about what Janner really wants and what Tink really wants, ultimately, that shift over time, for sure, but we needed to kind of streamline that. And so Janner longing for a day at sea when he has never been at sea, on the dark sea of darkness, where all those animals could hurt you and kill you, did not seem like the right aspiration. And so we realigned it and said, let's do something different. Sure, he wants his dad and misses his dad, but what are the things could Janner want that he can take action on right now? Because those become the things that you can motivate your character with. And of course, we know that Janner wants independence, to be able to do things without his siblings, like a lot of older kids. But he also loves the bookstore and would love to work with Mr. Retief and go with Mr. Retief on his adventures, right? That's the guy that he's most connected with. And he also would, as we saw at the very beginning of episode 1, would love to explore Glipwood Forest and see all of its creatures. And so those are the wants we put in place that we could then have him kind of have to fight against. Don't worry. Important that we're going to meet Esben. We won't see who that is, but we're going to meet Esben later, and we'll motivate it a little differently, but I think you'll be really satisfied. Yeah, good question. Let's see. So far, what character did you enjoy the most developing? Leeli. Seconded by Tink. Landon Jenner. It felt like there's a number of characters in the world that were very motivated, knew exactly who they were, what they wanted, how we were going to get against it. The kids, we had to work the most to develop them. Me and the writing team. There were things that the author can tell you about, Andrew, in the books, about what they think and feel and otherwise, that we had to find ways to externalize those and get them motivated. A lot of book one, Leeli is just kind of a ride-along character. She's just there for her brothers. She has this magical encounter and then just hangs out. And she is awesome later. More things happen later. And that happens in series where characters have, kind of the rise and falls. But we wanted to find ways to get Leeli involved, and you'll see that over the season. And I think that was the one we enjoyed the most developing. Certainly, Tink, kind of straightening him out. There was some stuff in the first book where Tink was afraid of heights, but it didn't match a lot of his other, like, ready, fire, aim characteristic, where he's like a go for it guy. And Andrew talked about that he'd put the fear of heights because of the Glipper Trail thing he had in the book, and I didn't see him enough, so we diverted him and kind of gave him the confidence to just be a confident kid. Gave him some other fears you'll encounter very, very soon. And then Janner, getting him realigned like I just described. Those three characters spent the most, but we particularly all have an affinity for Leeli and finding ways to really engage her character. So awesome questions. Okay, so don't worry. Each in between week, we're going to do exactly this. Myself, we may bring in some of our writers. Hopefully Andrew gets to join, but we'll go back and talk about the prior episode. If there are things that you want to ask us, be sure to tune in and hit us in the live stream, and we'll answer those questions as we go. So, man, I hope you're enjoying the series as much as we enjoyed making it. We have had such a grand time creatively just bringing this thing to life. It's been amazing. If you are enjoying it, there are two ways you can help. We're community supported. There's two ways you can help. First off, go share. Go share about our show. Tell someone. Like right now, if you go, oh man, so-and-so, go text them, send them an email, whatever. An email? Who emails about a show? No. Text or tag them in social media and tell them about our show. They can watch it on the Angel Studios apps. Those are easy to find. Like I said, go to angel.com/WFS, and they're easy to grab, and you can watch it on all the platforms. And then, of course, they can subscribe and follow us. Subscribe our YouTube channel. So it's just at Wingfeather Saga on YouTube. We're going to always be posting there. And then, of course, on Facebook, you can find us at Wingfeather Saga as well. Now, speaking of sharing, some of you got challenged last week as we were building up. We had a week-long giveaways, which was really fun. And some of the challenges were to go share with friends about our show coming to. And you guys did some great stuff here. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to do that. And we have some giveaway winners. Our social media team has gone through these and based on the challenges has awarded them. So let's have a look at these. Our first one up, we have Jordan and Company. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being evading a toothy cow and 10 eating a blueberry goo ball. How excited. And more excited than a fang of dang in a maggot loaf factory in Dugtown. You're going to get a prize from our team, a Wingfeather sticker set and button set. Those are super cool. Thanks, Jordan. All right, let's see our next winner. All right, here is Luke Schroeder. Tag the friend you want by your side when you face an angry animal. And so he said he'd want these 3 friends, probably Drew, because Owen and Luke would both outrun me and I would be stuck facing the wrath of that cow. Thanks, Luke. Your prize is a Toothy Cow merch set. You're going to do a tote bag, hoodie, and a cowbell ornament. Ooh, very cool. All right, is Poto right that there's always a way out of a difficult situation? Eric Kirsch. Poto is wise. There is always a way out, even in a deep, dark well or when the rain keeps falling. Help and forgiveness are always available. That is a great statement. Agreed. Your prize, a Wingfeather tote bag, really cool, and a book set. Thanks, Eric. We'll be in touch. And then we have, what creature would you hate to encounter in Glipwood Forest? Snick buzzards, says Mariah Joy Webb. Agreed. Anything coming from the ground I can take care of, but in the air? If you don't know what a snake buzzard looks like, look in Creaturepedia. They're awful. The belly buttons unnerve me. I agree. They unnerve me too. You're going to get a Wingfeather journal and a hoodie. Thanks, Mariah. All right. Last challenge was watch episode 1 and tag up to 5 friends. You were going to watch it. A bunch of you did that. Thank you. And our team randomly chose Mrs. Kristen and Brady. Yay! You're going to get a meet and greet with the creators. That's us. And a merch gift bag headed your way. Be sure to watch for a message from our team. Thank you all so much for helping to do that. It does a ton to amplify our voice. So you may feel like you hear from us all the time and like, whoa, slow your roll. trust me, we don't get out. It's word of mouth is how this works. And so the more that you tell people about what we're doing, they can go to wingfeathersaga.com and just kind of learn about the series in general if they want to. If they're like, I gotta see what this thing is, you're doing a great job. And thank you for continuing to share. You can also support us, in addition to share, by visiting our store. So wingfeathersaga.com/store. And hang on, check this. I just got a couple of these in. We have a new, oh my gosh, look at this beanie. It has a dragon on the front. He's awesome. Look at that. And this fabric, y'all, I can't even begin to describe. It is so soft. So this one is going to be on me right there. That looks fantastic with my shirt. Brilliant. We also have a bucket hat, if you haven't seen one of these bad boys. All right, so I will model this for you as well. These are one size fits all kind of bad boys. There you go. Get you your bucket hat. This is really cool. This one features the cliffs on the edge of the dark sea of darkness as its thing. So cool. And then there's small things in there that I love. There are this set of cards, these note cards. So like here's the Glipwood Town Hall. And then on the back, you can just write yourself an actual letter. A little stampage there. And yeah, so it's a collection of these. They're beautiful. It's good paper. Well done, guys. Our team is just doing some really cool stuff. You can also find, some of you have asked about the poster behind me. Whoop, this way. That poster is awesome. Comes in a nice rolled up, not creased version of the Wingfeather Saga poster you can grab. And then like we mentioned, there's these really cool hoodies. So this one has the Wingfeather logo on the front and then a really cool graphic on the back, which I got to flip. There we go. Of the kids. Yeah, super cool. And then my daughter Grace was talking about her favorite, which is this one here. Nice, solid, has a Wingfeather logo on the sleeve. Beware the tooth cows, y'all. Can't say it enough. So those are all available in our store. So wingfeathersaga.com/store is in there, and there's some journals and all kinds of cool stuff. If you, oh yes, and there is an exclusive mug, not the one I showed you that our friend made, but there's these really cool mugs that a friend of ours made. Oh, also toothy cow belt ornament. I have one. It's not on our tree, in our family tree. There's a Books and Crannies mug. Please go check those out. They're limited, quite limited, but they are awesome. And then finally, if you scroll down a little bit further, there is a limited set of figurines. There's less than 100 of these bad boys left, but what we wanted to do was do a first batch of these. Now, here's the deal. These are not going to be in time for Christmas, okay? So just get it out of your head right away. Probably sometime in April. But we're going to start to manufacture these. They're figurines, like posable stuff you'd put on a shelf, right? And there they are. We actually have a set of these that Andrew and I got to play with. There's a little video of us there doing that. We're going to sell 400 of them. And when we get to 400, if we do it by the end of this month, that'll allow us to do the tooling and go to get these made. And so if you think those are cool and want to do some shopping on that, you can pre-order those. Like I said, it looks like maybe about 85 left on that list. So super cool. All right, the other thing I wanted to tell you about is we had a fan, a guy named Johannes Gall, who linked us this really cool Lego house of the Igby Cottage. Check this out. There is a thing called Lego Ideas. This is not an actual Lego set, but there are these Lego Ideas where you can design your own. And he built this Igby Cottage with the characters. And look at those interiors. They are so good. And so if you like this and think he's done a great job, which we certainly did, go hit the vote support button. If he gets a bunch of support, Lego may consider making this. Wouldn't that be amazing? And so there's this little chart of how the whole Lego Ideas things work. It's super fun. It's very early for us as a new TV show to even think about a Lego thing, but this is a fun way to think about it. And I want to just congratulate Johannes on a great job. Well done. That was super cool. Okay, so you can support our show by going out there and telling your friends and family about what we're making here, and be sure to tune in and watch. You can also go to the store. Every time that you buy merch in our store, you're helping us to fund season 2. Season 1 is funded in production, but season 2 is on its way, and your support is how we're going to make it. And trust me, season 2 gets into book 2. A lot of really cool stuff that you're going to want to see. If it goes well, we're hoping to have season 2 out by next fall of next year. So yeah, not too long. But the last thing you can do is you could pay it forward. So pay it forward is basically a tip jar. you're getting to watch the show for free. If you like what you've seen and you like our show, want to support us, you can support us by paying it forward. So it's called Pay It Forward. It's this idea that, hey, I like what you're making and we want to support. So if you click on the Pay It Forward button there on our page, whichever version you're in, you're going to go to this and you'll see me talking to you, but saying the same thing, which is basically, if you pay it forward, the show stays free and it'll help us fund future episodes. Now, here's the deal. It also has some cool perks. One of them I want to draw attention to, just because I think it's really great, is this $50 one. If you were to pay it forward $50, you get to see the episode early. So all of us are waiting for episode 2 right now. And if you want to be one of those folks that pays it forward, you'll get to see the show before other people. There are lots of other cool perks down there. If that's what you want to be a part of, we'd love to have your support. It means a ton. It's just such a vote of confidence. Like I said, we worked 7 years to bring the show to life, and we want to keep it going for a long time. And your support's how it's going to happen. So thank you for consideration there. But that's Pay It Forward. So those are those ways. You can tell your friends. You can check out our merch in the store and support us there. And then, of course, you can pay it forward. And that'll help us make more episodes. And that's how the show stays free for more and more people to get to watch the whole of the Wingfeather Saga. Episode 2 coming up December 16th. Can't wait. I'll see you next Friday at 7 p.m. Central, and we'll be jumping in to watch this episode together and have a little chat afterwards. In the meantime, we're going to close out our time today on our live stream. Thanks for tuning in with this very special clip, a little teaser, a little trailer, 30 seconds that tells us a little about what's going to happen next. All right, we'll see you next Friday. Enjoy this.